Alright, we're back, and now we're looking at equations with rational numbers. So rational numbers, remember, include decimals and fractions. So we're taking what we already know and applying it outside of integers. So here, m plus 4 6/10 equals 9. Well, if we think about what we were doing before, I take my variable and I ask myself what's being done to it. In this case, I'm adding 4 6/10. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 4 6/10 from both sides, and that's its subtraction property. And once I have done that, the 4.6's would cancel each other out. And now I'm just going to take my 9 and subtract 4.6, and I get that m is equal to 4 4/10. And now remember, we can always go back and actually check our answer, which is good practice. Alright, so the first one was my turn, so now why don't you try and pause the video and try these two out on your own. Okay, on this first one, we have 8.2 or 8 2/10 times p. So I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by 8 2/10. These cancel out, so I have 32 8/10, but it's a negative, and divide it by 8 2/10, and I get 4, but I have a negative divided by positive, so my answer would be -4. Here I have x divided by 1 2/10, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 1 2/10. They're going to cancel out. X is equal to 15 times 1 2/10, which is 18. Alright, here's another one that we're going to look at. This one's involving fractions. Now, one thing I want to note is a lot of my examples always have the variable on the left. And I just want you to get in the habit of noticing that even if the equation is switched around, it's still the same thing. Notice, on one side we have n plus 2/7. On the other side we have -3/7. So I'm going to go ahead and solve this one that I redid. So here I'm solving for n. 2/7 is being added, so I'm going to go ahead and subtract 2/7 from both sides. Now here we already have a common denominator, -3/7 minus 2/7, or plus a -2/7 if that helps, gives us -5/7 as our final answer. Alright, that was my turn. Now it's your turn. Go ahead and pause the video and try this one out and see how you do. Okay, we have y minus 1/6, so I'm going to go ahead and add 1/6 to both sides. Those will cancel out. Now first we have to have a common denominator. With 3 and 6, our least common denominator would be 6. Handy thing about that, I don't have to change 6. Here we'd have 3 times 2, 2 times 2, so this is really 4/6. We're adding 1/6 to give us a total of 5/6. Alright, now this one I actually want to try out on my with you. If you want, you can pause the video and try it out and just kind of see if your method matches up what I'm showing you. Now here we have 5/6 times x. So to undo multiplication, we would divide. But remember our rules, when we're dividing by a fraction, we actually multiply by the reciprocal. So what we're going to do, instead of bothering to write the division, we're just going to skip that step and multiply by the reciprocal right away. So I'm going to change this and multiply both sides by 6/5. Because what happens here is 6 times 5 is 30, 5 times 6 is 30. 30 divided by 30 is 1. So these essentially cancel out and leave us with just x on the left side. Now here we can multiply across, or remember, cancel before I multiply. 5 and 5 would each become 1. 6 and 8 share a common factor of 2, so this would become 4 and 3. 1 times 3 is 3. And 4 times 1 is 4. Now there are other ways that you can do this, but this would be the quickest way. Alright, your turn again. Why don't you pause the video and try these couple of problems out on your own. So now I'm going to go ahead and subtract 1/9 from both sides. These are going to cancel out. Negative 5/9 minus 1/9 gives me negative 6/9. But I can divide by 3, which gives me negative 2/3. Here I'm going to add 1/2 to both sides. So y is going to equal, these will cancel out. Common denominator would be 4, so 1/2 is the same as 2/4. So this becomes 5/4 or 1 1/4. Oh, here's another one for you. Pause the video, try this one out. Alright, so if you remember, I said if you're multiplying by a fraction, to solve, the quickest way to do that is to multiply by the reciprocal or flipping that fraction over. These are going to cancel out. Left to just x on the left. I like to cancel before I multiply. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 2 times 8, 16. 19 times 1, 19. That can't be reduced, so our final answer, 16/19. So now let's just take this and look at some word problems. Mr. Rios wants to prepare dessert, but only has 2 2/3 tablespoons of sugar. If each serving of the dessert has 2/3 a tablespoon of sugar, how many servings can he make for the party? So here we are taking 2 2/3 and we're dividing it into 2/3 servings to give us, or into 2/3 servings to give us how many servings he can get for the party. Now there's other ways that we could do this. This is essentially what we are doing. Remember here we have to change our improper fraction into our mixed number into an improper fraction. So 3 times 2 is 6 plus 2 is 8. So 8/3 divided becomes multiply by the reciprocal, so 3/2. 3's are going to cancel out. 8 and 2 share a common factor of 2, which becomes 4/1. So now we have 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1, or 4 servings. Alright, so now it's your turn again. So why don't you go ahead and pause the video, try this word problem out on your own. Alright, Rick's van car holds 2/3 the amount of gasoline as his wife's van. The car's gas tank can hold 31/2 gallons of gasoline. How much gasoline can the tank in the minivan hold? So 2/3 of the van is equal to 31/2. That would be our equation. I'm going to go ahead and multiply by the reciprocal. These will cancel out. B is equal to. Here we can't actually cancel anything out ahead of time. So 31 times 3 gives me 93. 2 times 2 is 4. So now if I did 93 divided by 4, I get 23, but there's 1 left over, so 1/4 gallons. Alright, so now it's your turn. Here are some questions for you to try out. Once again, jump on Edmodo, answer these questions. And just for fun, here's one more question that goes with that quiz. Make sure you get them done before you go on to your homework. And let me know if you have any questions.